want to be consistent. As I mentioned before, top place in the world, top 5, top 10 players in the world, that's their serve. They never miss a serve. That's all. As long as your serve, is deep and high enough, I would consider myself, a perfect serve. You don't really have, to do too much with your serve. Just be consistent, especially until you get, to the tournament play, or so that's pretty much, with the serve. As long as you are making the contact with the ball, low enough, and your serve is deep, it's a perfect serve. Right, Andre?
Yeah, definitely.
Also, on the return, the perfect return is, go ahead, you just serve. I mean, if you're trying, to hit the ball as hard as you can, again, you can miss a lot of shots. You don't really want to do that. A perfect return is high enough, deep, and you don't have to rush the net. You can also, jog to the net. You don't have to rush it, as long as the return is high and deep. You get here, split step, and you get into the game. Andre?
No, I think that's pretty fundamental. You don't really gonna win the point with a serve or return, but you can definitely lose the point. So be very mindful of that. And I think from a tactical standpoint, just doubles 1-on-1, S and S, serve and stay back. Right, R and R, return and run in. The better your return is, the more controlled, get a little backspin on it, the more you can afford to kind of take your time coming in. The worse you're returning, whether it's short or you hit it too hard, you gotta be rushing up to the line. You shouldn't really. You gotta make sure you don't get stuck back there on the return of serve. That's a pretty common mistake.
Even if you hit, a weak return,
yeah.
If your return is not, deep enough, still get to the net.
100%.
Charge the net all the way up. Okay. Your opponent is gonna be under pressure, and they might miss when they see you, charging the net with a lot of confidence. So even if your return is weak, all the way up to the net. Exactly the opposite when you're serving. You're serving, you have to make sure that you stay back. You never serve and hit, a volley. It's even sometimes it's very heavy and the ball gets, super high. We need to let the ball bounce once before we hit our first volley. Okay? Yes?
2 questions.
Yes.
All right, what's your feeling on the bounce serve?
Completely fine if that's what works for you.
Okay,
Yeah.
second part of the bounce serve. Can you bounce it on either side of the line?
You can bounce it on either side of the line. The rule on the bounce serve is that your feet have to be behind the line.
Okay.
Behind the line when you make contact with the ball. So sometimes you see people bounce it here, completely fine. But sometimes you see people do this. Definitely not fine.
You
That's
can't step in.
So I can drop it in.
Yep.
So as long as my foot stays behind the line until I make contact, that's completely fine.
Okay, thank you.
That's the ruling on it. So it's
But the
important.
best serve is the one, that fits you. If you're comfortable with the regular serve, with the classic serve, go for it. If you're comfortable with the bounce serve, it's totally fine. It's not a rule. So you just have to take advantage and, to pick the right serve for you. That's, it's very, very simple. Now, we're going to pair up and we're going to play some points, but of course, we're going to try, to combine all the things that we taught you today. And we're going to try to play some points with the right strategy. We're going to go around, we're going to make sure that your guys, doing everything right. We want to see you very, very inventive. We want to see you mixing the shots, being aggressive, also being patient. And yeah, let's play some points.
Just have fun. Now you have to turn your mind off. You're practicing out. Now just play. All right, so go back to your spots.